started. It looks like we have a few more people who are trickling in. Just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. My name is Dan Reed. I'm with SCORE Maine. If you're unfamiliar with SCORE, we are an SBA resource partner where we provide free one-on-one business mentoring to entrepreneurs here in the state of Maine. And we also provide entrepreneurial workshops and resources just like this one that we put on around 8 to 10 times a month. A large part of the reason why we're able to do that is the Maine Technology Institute is a huge supporter of SCORE. So I wanted to say thank you very much to the Maine Technology Institute for supporting us. And luckily, we also have Emily Braley from the Maine Technology Institute here today to talk about one of their programs. She's going to talk a little bit about the MERC program. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to her to introduce herself, get started, and share a slide deck.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. And hi, everyone. I'm Emily. I'm going to turn my camera off because I think it's really lagging. So I'll be presenting from behind the camera, but I'll get started with sharing my deck now. Let's see here. Awesome. Ooh, can you all see my screen?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Okay, awesome. Sounds great. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for the introduction, Dan. Um, Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Braley, and I'm the coordinator of Maine Technology Institute's Maine Entrepreneurial Resource Corps, or MERC, because that is a mouthful to say. I am really excited to be sharing MTI and mostly the MERC program with you all today. It is always a pleasure to collaborate with SCORE and the fantastic businesses within their network. And I also look forward to working with as many of you as I can in the future. This presentation will mostly focus on the MERC program, which I'll dive deeper into momentarily. But to get us started, I wanted to chat briefly about MTI, our mission, and our funding programs. For context, MTI is a state-funded nonprofit that invests in new innovative technology with looks like my slides are a little bit lagging here. Um, so sorry about that. Let me just see if I can move forward before going further with my presentation so you all get the information you need. I'm gonna try and stop share and share again. All righty. Hmm. Can you see this now still, everyone?
Right now, we can, yep, it just says our core mission.
Okay, fantastic. That's where we want to be. Thank you for the for the patience with the technical difficulties. So just going into our core mission for MTI, again, we're a state-funded 501(c)(3) nonprofit, and our mission at MTI is to support Maine's economic development through innovation, most commonly in the form of creating high-quality jobs, but also helping businesses attract investment to the state of Maine and supporting Maine's infrastructure. So if a business is looking to develop a new technology within one of the state's 7 technology sectors, MTI can offer grant and loan funding to support the R&D, the making, breaking, testing of the technology, as well as supporting the business's commercialization of this technology. We play a pretty critical role for businesses in providing early stage capital to help them develop their technology and grow their business at a time when traditional lenders may perceive them as too risky. We have several different funding programs to help us achieve our economic development mission. The first is MTI's largest and probably most popular program, which is what most people think of when they think of MTI, and that is our Business Innovation Funding, or BIF. This offers larger grants and loans and is best suited for comprehensive R&D and scaling efforts that have many moving pieces and require more funding and more time to execute. We also have the MERC program, which I'm going to skip for now, since that will be the focus of the rest of the presentation. And then finally, we have our SBIR program, which helps businesses identify and prepare applications for larger federal awards like SBIR research grants and STTR grants as well. So that's kind of the high level overview of MTI. And now I'd love to begin my presentation about MERC by addressing the why behind the MERC program. We understand that consultants play a critical role in business growth and development, but startups often face barriers to working with consultants, namely finding someone who is reliable and a good fit for their business, and then two, actually paying for the project realistically. Some consulting projects can be quite pricey for a good reason, but they're often out of reach for businesses that don't have a lot of capital or are trying to stretch their capital over many different areas of their growth. So, in recognition of these challenges, MTI created the MERC program, and our mission with MERC is to make it more affordable and more efficient for businesses to work with technical consultants. And we do this through utilizing a database of exclusively Maine-based consultants to facilitate short-term projects between these consultants and eligible businesses. And if a business and consultant put forward a project that is approved by MERC, we will pay for 50% of the project fee up to $15,000. All MERC grants are awarded on a per project basis, and applicants must apply with a clear project in mind. So on this screen, I have listed some of the key things we're looking for in a MERC project. The first one is the MERC projects must be short term. All projects are capped at 3 months. And then also, we have a $30,000 cap on all projects, as MERC will pay for half of the project fee up to $15,000. And then we also want to see that the project is supporting the research and development, commercialization, and scaling of this new innovative technology. And I'll talk more about the innovation piece in a bit. So to be eligible for MERC funding, a business must satisfy these 6 eligibility criteria on the screen. The first two are pretty straightforward. We're looking for businesses to be based in Maine, be registered to do business in Maine, have employees or a physical space to work in Maine. And then we also are looking, or also all Maine businesses and all applicants must have matching funds, as we expect the business will pay for the other 50% of the project cost to the consultant. Next, a business must be in one of Maine's 7 targeted technology sectors. And these sectors are all on our website, so you could learn more about them and get all the details and refresh your memory if you forget. But just as a quick overview, they include biotechnology, information technology, precision manufacturing, composites and advanced materials, environmental tech, aquaculture, and marine technology. And then finally, forest products and agriculture. So it's a pretty large group of businesses that fall into our technology sectors. The business also must have plans to contribute to Maine's economy. As discussed before, our goal is to help Maine's economy grow. So we want to see that startups have at least a plan to make hires within the state of Maine or create impact, although this can be relatively cursory, as most of the businesses we work with are in the very early stages of their development. We expect businesses to also be under 5 million in annual revenue, as we're really trying to target startups where our funding will have an outsized impact on business growth. And then finally, businesses must have some kind of innovative technology that they're working on researching, developing, and commercializing. I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but that's really what our focus is as Maine Technology Institute. And now I want to pause here on the definition of innovation, as this is often a point of confusion for MTI applicants. I definitely want to acknowledge that there are many different ways for businesses to be innovative in their business model, in their operations, in their mission, in their supply chain, which are all fantastic things. MTI, however, has a specific definition in mind when we are evaluating fit to MTI. And we are looking to see first that a business, their technology is significantly differentiated from other market alternatives, and that the differentiator gives a business a defensible advantage over competitors. And then, equally importantly, the business must be able to show that this differentiator solves a key customer pain point and addresses a demonstrated market need, typically through market research and customer validation. So there's really two key parts to our innovation definition. One, is it different and is it hard for competitors to copy? And then two, are these things that make your product different valued in the market? And are customers going to purchase your product because of those unique pieces of your innovation? And is that going to accelerate your growth and create the economic impact we're looking for? I'm happy to answer any questions about this later, as well as it can be a little bit confusing as to what MTI is looking for. And we also like to have conversations with businesses before going into the application to help them figure out what we're looking for and see if there's a fit there. All right, so now that we've covered eligibility, I'll move on to the kind of support MTI can offer businesses. On the screen, I've listed several areas where MERC consultants offer support, but this is by no means an exhaustive list. And I like to tell businesses that if they have a project that will advance the viability of their business and can find someone within the state of Maine to help them, we can likely turn this into a MERC project. However, to get you thinking, I've listed some concrete examples here of our common projects. This includes working with a fractional CFO. We see this often for businesses who are fundraising and need financial support in this process, or they want to refine their financial models and forecasts. You can work with a MERC consultant to redesign your website, develop your marketing strategy, work with an IP attorney to file a provisional patent or review your IP strategy, custom software development. That's a pretty common request as we work with a lot of IT businesses. And the list goes on for companies and what we can do to support them. So now moving on to the MERC process. Our whole application process is outlined online. So if you miss something here or are unsure what the next step is, you can always go to the MERC website to look through this in detail. But I'd love to go over it quickly with you now so you understand what to expect if you were to apply for MERC. The application starts with submitting a MERC interest form, which you can find on the MERC website. And if you can't find it, feel free to send me an email. I'll send it to you directly. Once we have that interest form, the MERC coordinator will reach out to you to schedule a meeting. As you saw earlier, our eligibility criteria is quite specific and honestly a bit confusing. So we like to connect with businesses before applying to discuss our criteria, answer any questions, and give an initial sense of fit before the business applies and invest time in the application, as it can be quite long. If we think the business could be a good fit for MTI in that moment, we'll send them an application. The business completes the application. And if that application is approved and goes through our review process, the business will select a consultant. This could be someone they have a pre-existing relationship with, or also someone who we help the business identify through our network. But in any case, once a business has a consultant selected, we'll then ask that they submit a scope of work. We have a scope of work guide for businesses and consultants reference if this is something that's new to you. Once we have that scope of work, we'll send the grant agreement to the business. Everything will be confirmed. The project can begin. The consultant and the company work their magic and do all these great things together. And then once the project is complete, we'll then ask that the business submit a little bit of final paperwork to confirm the project has been completed. And then at that point, we will issue our 50% of the project cost to the client directly. MERC is a reimbursement program, so our payment won't come until the end of the project. However, the payment terms are totally up to the business and consultant. You and your consultant can structure the payment so you pay 100% upfront or 100% upon completion or 50% upfront, 50% once the MERC award kicks in monthly. Totally up to you. We'll just send a check to the business once a project is complete with the intention is used to pay the consultant for any outstanding balance or reimburse the business for any fees they've already incurred under the payment schedule they agreed to with the consultant previously. Awesome. So I'm almost to the end of our presentation, but I just wanted to discuss one of our newer programs briefly called the MERC AI program. The goal of this program is to help businesses take the first step in learning about AI and demystify AI as this technology is rapidly developing before our eyes. What kind of tools are available to businesses and how AI might help a company improve its operations and productivity. We deliver this program through a partnership with Coursera, where we offer businesses free access to Coursera's generative AI course catalog, and they're also developing an agentic AI course catalog as well. Just briefly, if you're not familiar with Coursera, they're an online learning platform that offers thousands, like 13 to 14,000 accredited courses from universities and organizations. And they recently developed a generative AI program, which has almost 400 and growing courses on generative AI from universities like Stanford and MIT and UPenn and organizations like Meta and Google and IBM and a lot of other experts in this field. It's really an impressive collection of content and educational material. So businesses can apply for up to 3 licenses for 3 team members to get access to Coursera for several months. And this program is actively evolving as well as we try to figure out more ways to help businesses take advantage of this technology safely and use it in their work. Um, and then just quickly, rapid fire questions. I often get asked if businesses can use their own consultants. The answer is yes, so long as the consultant is based in Maine and willing to join our network. We also get asked if what if my scope of work changes partway through a project. That's also completely fine. If you and your consultant determine that another path is better for you, then go for it. We just ask for an updated scope of work and advance notice as soon as that decision is made so we can approve those changes and make sure it's all up to scope on our end. We do have a funding cap of $30,000. So while our maximum per grant or per project award is $15,000, businesses can apply for up to $30,000 in grant funding over their lifetime. And they can also utilize the MERC program as many times as they like, so long as they have funding available, and also work on multiple projects at the same time. So you have a legal need and a marketing need, those projects can be executed concurrently. And the typical project turnaround time from application submission to approval sits between 3 to 4 weeks, just depending on seasonality, time of year. But it's typically around 3 to 4 weeks to give businesses a decision and sign the final grant agreement. And that is all I have for today about the MERC program, and I'm happy to answer any questions that have come up during this presentation now or in the future as well. Please feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, or if you type them in the chat, I'll ask them of Emily and we can go from there. One question that I would have, and maybe this is applicable to some of the businesses here, is maybe you are a business that would qualify to be a part of the MERC program as a consultant. What does that look like?
Thank you so much for asking that question, Dan. Yes, we are always looking for consultants to join our network. We have on our MERC website a MERC consultant tab, which has all of this information about the application and criteria. So again, if you miss anything right now and are looking for more information in the future, you can find it there. But essentially for consultants, similarly to our applicants, we want to see that they are based in Maine, have a physical presence in Maine, and are engaging with Maine businesses. Consultants can be sole proprietors, though we do recommend they incorporate as an LLC. But if you are an expert in your field and are looking to transition to consulting, it is okay to be a sole proprietor. And then in addition to that, we are looking for companies or consultants to submit two client references, either from past colleagues who are familiar with the work that you will be providing through the MERC program, or recent clients, paid clients, or pro bono clients you've engaged with otherwise. And if businesses are interested in applying, we do have an online portal where they can fill out the information on the form, upload all of these documents, and the review time for consultants is around 1 to 2 weeks, again, depending on application flow and demand at that time.
Perfect. I don't see any other questions that people have posted yet. So I just want to say thank you again, Emily, for presenting today. I will be posting this onto our YouTube channel and sending it out to all of our registrants. So if you are looking to rewatch this, or maybe there's some information that you may have missed, be on the lookout for a follow-up email. And I will also include Emily's contact information in that email in case you'd like to reach out to her.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jan. And yes, please do. Anyone, if you have questions, feel free to send me an email. Happy to connect and share more about MTI and the MERC program.
Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Emily. Have a good day.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.